Okay, thank you so much for that, Merrill. Let me go across. We are joined in by Nagraj Shetty, Senior Technical Research Analyst at HDFC Securities as well. Deepan Mehta, Kunal Bothra still with us. Nagraj, how are you viewing the market and the move today?
Hi, good afternoon. The way market has moved up today after easing the Middle East tension is phenomenal. The 700 points gap up on the Nifty, which is still unfilled, is indicating a big reversal on the for the market from the lower levels. I think 22 200 levels, the way the market reacted at the bottom is going to be important bottom reversal, and I'm expecting this low is not going to be tested very soon. From here onwards, 24,500 is going to be the next resistance to be watched in the near term.
Okay. Deepan, let me come to you with regard to that question on financials, which I did kind of touch upon before we went to break. Within the financials basket, obviously, we've seen banks trade at a reasonable discount versus their long-term averages. Do you believe large private sector banks is something that one should add in their portfolios even at this juncture?
Not at all. In fact, within the financials, the banks, as I've said earlier also, it's becoming a complete red ocean over there. And if you see the latest data which has come, the CASA ratio for the entire banking industry is at multi-quarter lows. And banks are clearly finding it very difficult to raise low-cost deposits. And therefore, in the long run, I'm very concerned about the very high net interest margins which they have. And that's going to impact the private sector banks more than the PSU banks also. And I think that the way to play the banks would be generally to be underweight banks, but then banks is a big proportion of any index. So I would be saying that let's be more overweight in the PSU banks rather than the private sector banks. And as far as the overall financials are concerned, I would give more preference to NBFCs, where the kind of pressure of raising resources, low-cost deposits is much less than some of the banks.
That's quite a contra view, I must say, Deepan, because haven't heard really anyone say go underweight banks right now. Well, clocking in good gains, and today you can safely ignore the losers because they're far and few. Shriram is now clocking in almost 10% of a gain. Tata Motors PV is holding up 9%. Adani Enterprises, in fact, all of the Adani Group stocks, like we were just flagging off, 8.5% of an uptick. Interglobe Aviation eased off a tad bit from the top, but still clocking in about 7.6% of a gain. And L&T is the out-and-out standout performer, contributing maximum to the Nifty move today, about a 7.5% uptick coming in there. M&M up 7%, Bajaj Finance up 7% right now, Eicher, Ultratech, Maruti, Axis Bank, all of them sitting on stupendous gains. We'll take a very quick break, continue tracking markets on the other side.
Okay, welcome back and thanks for being with us. Sajid here though on this very critical day to analyze what the FNOQs are indicating. Sajid, does this rally look sustainable as per the cues you're seeing?
Thanks, Harsh. Market up nearly 3.7%, trying to breach the 24,000 mark as we speak. But there is some resistance at 24,000 for the market. If you look at the Nifty open interest is down nearly 3.57%. That clearly indicates about the short covering that we saw in today's trade. And that's one of the reasons why the Nifty is up nearly over 3.5% there. Nifty Bank, again, there's a huge short covering which is happening there, 4.5% down in terms of open interest position. The index up nearly 5.5% at 55,600 level there. Look at what's happening within the banking space. You'll see short covering happening in HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank, and along buying happening in a lot of public sector banks is led by SBI, BOB, and PNB, which is there. If you look at the whole market of Nifty, how it's doing, you can see how there has been unwinding of call positions below 23,800 levels. But above that, there is a constant push by the put writers to increase the positions, and that's getting reflected in the entire distribution chart for the Nifty there, where 24,000 is where the call writers are holding up position as of now, and 24,900 is a good support coming in for the market with good put writing there. Futures gainers include Ashok Leyland, Force Motors and Adani Green, 12% each, 11 to 12% each, all these stocks. In losers, you have some of the oil stocks or energy stocks, which is there. Oil India is down nearly 4.8%, Coal India is down 3%, and Nalco is down 3% in today's trade. Open interest gainers include 361, where there's a long build-up, which is seeing Nippon Life and Godfrey Phillips. So capital market stocks doing some better there, with good jump in open interest coming in for these stocks. Among the losers, you have Force Motors, where we are seeing a short covering. Ireda is another stock where we are seeing some short covering with open interest down in these two stocks, and Oracle Finance is seeing some long unwinding with open interest down nearly 4% in today's trade. But the stock option most active one is Reliance 1400 April call, where the premium is up 4 rupees at 11.15. You have roughly around unwinding of contracts of nearly 5 lakh contracts there happening, and the stock holding up, trying to hold up the 1350 level as we speak. Among the put, you have SGFC 800 April put, where the premium is down 25 rupees at 13.65, 10.3 lakh contracts getting added there as we speak, and the stock trying to hold off above 800 level as we speak. So it's a short covering day in the market, and Nifty Bank both are seeing some gains, handsome gains as we speak.
They're sticking by with that.